Hello, everyone. This is Pops. I made part 2 of The Rise of Power and Evil. And I just had to shut my YouTube down so it don't echo. But anyway, I made part 2. This one took me a little less time. I think I'm getting a little better at it. This one only took me about 20 hours to make. All my videos are going to be 9-10 minutes. They're not going to be long, so it won't bore you. Part 3, hopefully I'll get it out a little sooner than the last one. The last one, it took me about a week to get this one out. Hopefully I could get part 3 out in a couple of days from now. It does take a lot of time to put the story together and put the pictures with the words. But I hope you guys all enjoy it. And let's start the show. Hello, everyone. This is Pops. Today, we are going to start the second storyline in the Age of the Crusades. In 1048 AD, an organization known as the Knights Hospitaller became the sovereign military order of Malta. They were split into 2 orders. One order ran a hospital to help Christian pilgrims. The other was a military order, tasked by Rome to protect the Christian population and protect the pilgrims traveling from Europe to Jerusalem. Their symbol was the Maltese cross. This order today is considered an independent subject of international law, meaning it is a quasi-independent sovereign entity with some of the international rights given to other countries. Yet this order is not a state and holds no claims to any land. And its members are citizens across the world. This order still holds its allegiance to the Vatican and the Pope. It is said they helped the rise of Germany during World War II. And the German leaders after World War II escaped through networks like the Underground Railroad, known as the Vatican Rat Line. A journalist named Seymour Hersh exposed the My Lai massacre and the White House assassination squad on January 17, 2011. Hersh mentioned the Knights Malta in a speech to the Georgetown University campus in Doha, Qatar. Hersh alleged that a lot of members of the U.S. Special Operations Command and the Joint Special Operations Command support and are members of the Knights Malta. They went on to say that the Knights of Malta's mission was against the Islamic fundamentalists and considered it a crusade. The first 50 years of their existence was in Christian territory. In 1096 AD, the first of 9 wars broke out. It became known as the Crusades. The Crusades were religious wars initiated and supported by the Roman Catholic Church. Their goal was to recover the Holy Land from Islamic rule. 3 years after the Crusaders went to the Holy Land, this goal was achieved. Godfrey de Bouillon was a French nobleman and a leader of the First Crusade. He was the first ruler of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. He avoided using the word king and used the word princeps, and had a secondary title called the Defender of the Holy Scripture. Godfrey only ruled for 1 year after his death in 1100. He was succeeded by his brother Baldwin, who was crowned king of Jerusalem. He lasted until his death in 1118. He was known as the Leper King. Just like his brother, forced conversion was at the top of the list. Nearly 2 million people had died. In 1118, a French knight by the name of Hugh de Payens founded a military order with 8 other knights. He was the co-founder and first Grand Master of the Knights Templar. In association with Bernard of Clairvaux, he created the Latin Rule, the code of behavior for the order. Its 72 clauses define the ideal behavior for the knights, such as the type of garments they were to wear and how many horses they could have. This order sprung from the order of Priory of Sion, and that order is still said to be active today. With the support of the King of Jerusalem, the Knight Templars set up their headquarters on the Second Temple Mount. Their official goal was to protect the pilgrims coming from Europe along the roads to Jerusalem. 9 knights were officially appointed to protect the Christian pilgrims over a distance of 3,000 to 4,000 miles. The Almighty only knows how they did that. Another goal was to rebuild the Temple of Solomon, which had been destroyed in 586 BC by the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. Why was this so important to them? Well, we'll find out later on. In the year 1129, the Order of the Knights Templar received the official support of the Vatican. The order grew rapidly and would become wealthy through enormous amounts of donations from all over Europe. The Knights conducted a code of conduct in which they swore total obedience to the Grand Master. They did not even think about what they were doing. They just followed orders unconditionally. The Templars became the right hand of the Grand Master. At its height, the Templars had over 20,000 members. Only 2,000 were armed knights. The other 18,000 took care of finances and logistics. The order was exceedingly wealthy, owning vineyards, businesses, farms, land, arms, equipment. They even owned the island of Cyprus, and also had a large fleet of ships. In every corner of Europe, all the way to Jerusalem, they had castles, churches, universities. They were so powerful that they did not have to obey local laws, no matter where they were. They did not even have to pay taxes. Imagine that. Everything they took from the Muslim population, they were allowed to keep. They were exempt from all authorities, except for the Pope. All the order had to do was to swear allegiance to the Pope. The Pope Innocent II took care of everything by signing the papal bull Omni Datum Optimum in 1139. The bull is simply the format in which a decree of the Pope appears. Any subject can be treated in a bull, and many were and are. The bull was the exclusive letter format from the Vatican until the 14th century. The most distinctive characteristics of a bull was the metal seal. There was one area the Templars excelled in: banking. They had many banks throughout Europe. The system of banking was primarily owned by the government. They were much closer to a private bank. By the 13th century, they were so competent in banking that they went from rags to riches. Kings, queens, and noblemen would send large amounts of gold and silver through their banks to pay their armies in Jerusalem. In the year 1307, the site, what is now the Temple stop on the Paris Metro, King Philip IV launched a raid on the Paris Temple, the first of a series of arrests across Europe. They met their final destiny: King Philip IV of France. He was in heavy debt to the order. When King Philip asked for more loans, the order refused him. So he decided it was time for the Knights Templar to be exterminated. On Friday the 13th of October 1307. Does that date ring a bell? A large number of knights were arrested, including their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay. After years of imprisonment, many of the knights, including Jacques de Molay, were burnt at the stake. Medieval documents say that Jacques de Molay called out a curse on the king and the Pope. Clement V, who had failed to protect them, and dissolved the order through Fox and Excelsior. In 1312, the Knights Templar was dissolved, but he did not formally condemn the order. 1 month later, Pope Clement died. 8 months later, King Philip died. It is said the Pope was struck by lightning inside the church where he was sleeping, and he was burnt to ashes. The king suffered a stroke while he was hunting. Many believe he was poisoned. Okay, everyone. Well, that's part 2. A little short, but it's a lot of work, like I said. Part 3. I think a lot more will start to get unraveled, and we'll move more towards the future of how all these pieces fit together in what we're going through today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Just if you can, hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you soon with part 3. And may the Almighty bless you and your family, and Pops out.